are on an adventure in Wakefield, Rhode Island. We're here at Ichiban Studio, and we're going to learn about karate, and we're going to learn what these things are and what you do with them, okay? Come on, join me. In 1991, here in Rhode Island, a studio was opened called Ichiban Studio, which is where we've been filming today. And I'm going to ask these two gentlemen, we've got Renchi Scott and Sensei Stan with us. And we're going to learn a little bit more about Ichiban, the philosophy, the programs here, and we're going to talk about the founder. So let's start at the very beginning.
Sure.
Let's talk about the founder.
Sure.
Tell us about the founder. Who wants to talk?
I could start. The founder of Ichiban Karate was Kyoshi Chitgavitt. He started this studio in 1991, which we opened. We originally started at Northeast Karate in Wesley, Rhode Island, and Chick his belief was to start his own studio, create something what he wanted, with the main thing, family values with the martial arts, good standard, good solid karate, and also incorporate a lot of fitness, which he was very big on. And obviously as fitness has grown over the years, that was kind of almost a new concept a little bit in the martial arts. And we moved ourselves from Westerly to Wakefield, Rhode Island, because we respected our other instructor, Cheech Luzzy, to move away. You know, nowadays some places open close. We wanted to move away out of respect to him. Some of the biggest things we believe in and from him was the philosophy of respect and responsibility. Many of the black belt principles which we still teach and talked about originally when we started. So that's when we came to this town of Wakefield, Rhode Island, and looked around and found this. And this is our third different location because he's grown so big from 1991 to what it is today. So it's been quite a ride, and we started 26 years ago. 26 years. So.
Now, Scott, you were the first student, right?
Yes, I was the first student / instructor when he had the idea of starting a studio. So Ichiban was in the beginning of the thought process. Obviously, when you go from one student to another out of respect, he just asked me as his friend. We were both his best friends, and he said, hey, would you go with me to start the studio? So I agreed to go, and we respectfully talked to our instructor and moved up this way. So I was the first person, in theory, before there was a studio.
In theory.
Yeah, because before we didn't have a building, and we just drove around and looked for places, and we started just down the street from where we are here today, and a bunch of young 20-something-year-olds trying to determine how to build a studio. Was kind of funny. With not a lot of mechanical skills, though. We had a lot of friends come up, help, build, and transformed it and made it a studio. I can still remember our opening day. And within 6 months, we were expanding into another building. We had over 100 students. Chick was amazing with his marketing, his philosophies, his family values that people really took to. And this was from the late 80s to 90s was kind of that new concept. We took the Karate Kid movies and all the Ninja Turtles, and kids started getting increasingly interested in martial arts. So it wasn't just men, adults doing karate as it did for many years, just a bunch of people practicing, and then as it grows to families. And his biggest thing, his first big slogan was families that kick together, stick together. And that was one of our big philosophies from the beginning, our marketing tool. So it just kept going, and he was amazing at that. He was really, really great at marketing and promoting good karate with great fitness, and that's how we've involved it today. It's Ichiban Karate and Fitness.
It doesn't feel that long ago. When I look back, it seems my road led right here all along. Faith faces of so many friends. Love begins and never ends, like an old familiar song. Turn back the pages, I can't believe it's you. Turn back the pages, I can't believe it's me.
So we're here at Ichiban Studio, and we want to talk to some of the teachers and senseis, and we have Sensei Brett with us, and we're going to talk to him. And hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm wonderful. So here we are, and I would like to ask you when you got interested in karate, and why?
Well, I always used to watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when I was a kid, around 3 or 4 years old, and was doing karate in front of my television for years, and one day I drove by and saw Ichiban Karate Studio just opened up on Main Street in Wakefield, and so I told my parents, I was like, I want to go there. I want to go there. I want to do karate, and kept poking it, and eventually they said, all right, we'll bring you there. And as soon as I went, I was already in love with karate from watching movies and watching films, that it was just second nature, and I just picked it up right away, and loved it ever since. So I started in 1993, and haven't looked back since. So.
And why? Why is it so important to you? What has it done for you, your life?
Well, for me, it was something. It was an outlet for me. It was something that I enjoyed. I was quiet when I was younger, and people would talk to me, and I was very quiet. I had a severe ear infection when I was younger, to the point where I couldn't hear very well. To the point where I would have to lip read people who were talking from time to time, and to the point where my development with my words wasn't up to par with the kids my age. So I was more introverted, so I didn't want to say certain things or talk out loud. So it helped me become more confident with myself, as well as it was an opportunity in one sport that I was able to do with my parents. Both my parents earned their black belts, so that's something that I always shared with them, with no other sport that I could actually do that with. And this was something that I hold deep in my heart. My mom passed away in 2009, so it was something that I always hold dear. I still have the pictures of me and my mom in our karate uniforms on picture day and things like that. And then just seeing what kids get out of it, you know, what I developed, and the things that helped me across the board with other sports and in school, and my dedication and things like that, the no quit attitude, and then to pass that on to the kids now as an instructor, to see them land a technique that's taken them months to do, or to see them succeed in earning their black belt, is something that I value even more so than earning it myself, is helping somebody else get to their plateau, you know, get to their goals and achieve their goals. So that's something that has been a special feeling, to see a kid smile when they finally achieve it, with the tears along the way, but finally getting to that goal and achieving it.
So it sounds like one of the more fulfilling things that you do in your life.
Oh yeah, hands down. I mean, one of my instructor, Kiyoshi Chick Gabbett, always said, love what you do, and if you love what you do, it won't ever feel like work. And for me, that's something that I've loved since the moment I walked in and till now. I can't picture myself doing anything else. So.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. That's wonderful. Thank you.
Welcome.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Keep moving, keep moving. Time. Line up. Down. Fist bumps.
Okay, Okay, and we are here at Ichiban Studio, and we have a mother-daughter karate students. And this is Lynn, the mother, and Ellen, the daughter. And I'm so
glad you clarified that.
Yes, me too, just so you know. So, Lynn, you were telling me earlier, you were telling me a story, but before we get to that, Ellen, how long have you been doing karate, and why did you start?
I've been doing karate for about 4 years, and I started after I saw a demonstration on a field day in my elementary school because I thought it looked pretty awesome.
And you still think it's pretty awesome?
Yeah.
And so I see, now do you have, is that a black belt?
Yes.
Is that first degree black belt?
I'm a first degree junior black belt.
Ah, excellent, congratulations.
I started in the youth classes as a kid, but I was still older than a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
So when I graduated to a black belt, I started to get to teach their class, and they were like my friends, but I was still like their like teacher, their sensei. And I am part of Storm Team, the special team of role models, and I got invited to join that last summer. And it's basically the senseis in the karate dojo, and we get to work around the dojo, teach the kids, do private lessons with them, and it gets really fun because you get to know the kids a lot.
Oh, that sounds great. What an honor. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And what is your story, Lynn, that you were telling me earlier that you'd like to share with us?
Well, first of all, her father and I have been very proud of her progress, and she's been very inspirational relative to the dedication that she's put in to achieve this black belt. And right when she was going through her black belt cycle to earn this, I was also looking for some kind of a fitness activity that, to just get myself back in shape. But I was also in physical therapy for ankle issues and arthritis in my feet. And I was trying fitness classes, the cardio and that kind of thing, and it was just, I was hurting myself more. So here at Ichiban, they said, try karate. I'm like, no, karate's not for me. It's been great for Ellen, not for me. My physical therapist said, you know what, try karate. And I'm like, really? And so I said, okay. She was very encouraging, and I stepped out on the wood floor, took a lesson, and it all clicked. Everything that we saw that was beneficial for her, the focus, the fitness, the whole package, it worked for me. I no longer wear an ankle brace. I was able to finish physical therapy a lot sooner. I was amazed at what a full body workout it was, and the mental aspect. So it was mental and physical fitness, and the whole self-defense. I'm in my mid-50s and had some issues with feeling vulnerable early on in life, and if I had as a youth taken karate, I probably would have come out a little different. And so this has been a major confidence builder as well, and I've found such a wonderful supportive community here in the fellow students that's different than I would have found at your average gym. Everybody's just doing their thing on their treadmill or elliptical, but here everyone's very supportive, and it doesn't matter what belt rank you are. And as they say, you start where you are and you just go at your own pace, and it's a lifetime fitness activity and self-improvement, and I love it. We even got her father, my husband, involved because he saw what it did for her, and he was amazed, or either he was trying to see if I was really telling the truth when I kept coming home raving about karate. You got to do karate. But we've both been doing it now, and as they say, the family that kicks together sticks together. And
hey, I like that.
I believe that's true. And I've lost weight. I feel fit and more confident, and I love now that because of her rank, we can actually take classes together. So it's an extra little bonding thing that we might not normally have done.
Absolutely. What a wonderful story. Thank you so much.
No, this is great.
Frog jumps, and then you can come back and play. Okay? All right, everyone step up.
And we're here at Ichiban Studio, and we're going to be talking to Madison. Madison, thank you so much for agreeing to talk to us.
Thank you for having me.
I watched you teaching those little ones, and how cute.
I know, they're so cute and they're so funny too.
Red light, green light. I know that one.
Yeah.
So you're teaching them movements and games, and what is the purpose of what you do with them?
We're basically trying to teach them the beginning techniques of karate. We're trying to get them to have respect and to have discipline and just to have fun and to get their energy out.
Yeah, I think the fun element is kind of an important part of it when you're
Yes,
little, because
yes.
otherwise you're going to get bored, or you're
Yeah.
going to think, this is work,
Yeah.
right?
That's why we try to do stuff like red light, green light, and like the obstacle courses, because they're working, but they're doing something that they like.
Now, you obviously like karate.
Yes, I do.
So when did you become interested in it?
I started because my brother did karate first, and I would sit and I would watch him, and I loved it, and I really wanted to try. So my mom finally signed me up, and I've been doing it ever since.
And your mom is involved here, right?
Yes, my mom is a black belt here too, and she teaches fitness classes.
Ah, that's what I thought I saw on the
Yes.
website. Yeah, there's a lot of information on the website about all the different martial arts and fitness and everything that you do here. And you're still taking karate as a student, correct?
Yes.
What belt are you at now?
I am a teen second degree black belt.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Congratulations.
Thank
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you know, you're in school. You're in high school,
Yes, I'm a freshman.
and there's an awful lot of activities in high school. Are you
Yes.
going to continue with karate?
Yeah, I'm going to try and continue with karate until I graduate high school, and then when I go off to college, like take a little break, but when I come back, I'm going to come back to the dojo too.
Oh.
Yeah.
And why? Why will you do that?
Because over the years, I feel like we've all gotten to know each other and we're all so close, so we're kind of like a little family. So when you come back to visit from college, you have to come back and visit here too.
Now, has karate and the security and confidence and everything that you learned from that, did that help you decide what you want to do as a career?
I haven't decided what I want to do as a career yet, so.
Well, there's always a karate teacher.
That's true.
Got a little bit of experience there, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Madison.
Thank you.
And we're here at Ichiban Studio, and I met this gentleman named Andy. And he said, I would love to do a testimonial. And then I watched him do some moves, and I thought, I definitely want to talk to this guy. So Andy, I'm so glad that you said, I want to talk, I want to tell my story. And I saw you in a group, and it looked like you were teaching them, but you're a student?
Well, I am a student, yeah. I've been at Ichiban for about two and a half years. I'm a student technically at Ichiban North Kingstown with Sensei Brett Jaber, but I also come down to Wakefield where he teaches, and then Sensei Kayla and Sensei Stan, so I take classes with everybody. But what we were just doing now is we were doing what's called a Han. I'm a brown belt, not a black belt yet, but I'm on my way. But part of our learning process is by teaching. So you learn by teaching others. You kind of help everybody. That's what we're all about here.
Excellent, excellent. So what does karate mean to you?
Karate to me, I would say family. I know that's a weird answer, but right here, it's a family. It's community, activity, self-defense. It's kind of everything all rolled up in one.
And what brought you to learn karate?
Actually, my son, he outranks me. He started about 3.5 years ago at Ichiban North Kingstown. So about a year of watching my son take class. I would take like a Father's Day class. They would offer, classes like that, and all the time, Sensei Brett's like, come on, Andy, you can do this. And so finally, after about a year, I was almost 40. It was just about my 40th birthday. I said, you know what? I've always wanted to do it. I just do it. So that's what started me.
And you do it so well.
Oh, thank you very much.
Like I said, I saw you teaching other students.
That's what we're all about here.
I think that's amazing,
Yeah.
wonderful.
Thank you. So what we were just doing out there before was called a Han, which is basically an organized or choreographed fight, for lack of a better term. So there's one person in the middle, and there are that particular one. There are 3 attackers, and they're choreographed. So you learn what's called a kata, which is a series of moves, and then that kata is implemented in the Han. So you've attacks and defenses. So attackers coming from my left, I block their kicks and punches, and I punch them or I attack them, and then I turn to the next attacker. And it's a series of, like I said, it's almost like a dance, a choreographed dance, but it's fighting, blocks and punches and kicks.
And we were talking about Kie.
Ki.
Or Ki.
Yep, no, it's basically a release. So if you're punching or you're kicking, as opposed to just, punching and not, releasing, all your energy, you yell. You say Ki, or you yell, or whatever. But Ki just happens to be what we say, or what you can say.
I was always wondering about that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ready? Bitch! Knees! Son!
Ki.
Lazy bones, loping through the day. You always seem to find the easy way, moving like you roll the grave. Never heard a word I say.
All over America, entire families are backsliding. We're no longer just sedentary, we're stationary, and that's bad news for your bones. At any age, bones need weight-bearing activity to grow strong and stay strong. So go outside, take the steps, play with the dog. Just get up, get out, get moving.
Never keep your bones that way. Never heard a word I say.
A public service message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons.
Oh, hey, bud. Where are you headed?
Just gonna hang out.
With Gary and Todd?
Yeah?
I've been meaning to ask you, is there any drinking going on in this crowd?
No.
If any of your buddies ever pressure you to take a drink, just tell them you promised your dad you wouldn't. I'd do anything to keep you safe.
Okay, I will.
I hope this is working.
I promise. Love you too, Dad.
They really do hear you. For tips on what to say, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
You always made sure I brushed my teeth.
You told me that smart was cool.
You always told me to dream big.
To all of those parents who took the time to make raising their children their most important job, we'd like to say,
thank you.
Thank you.
From the bottom of my heart, thanks, Mom and Dad.
This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
I'm going to ask these 2 gentlemen. We've got Renchi Scott and Sensei Stan with us. And we're going to learn a little bit more about Ichiban, the philosophy, the programs here. There are different types of karate programs out there.
Yes.
Can you tell us what the name is of the particular one that you teach and
Yes.
what the difference is, basically?
Our style is Okinawan Shorin-ryu. Many people in this area are Shorin-ryu because it started in Westerly. A man named Pat Hayden brought it from Okinawa military, and it branched off from there. We then studied under Cheech Luzzy, and then we went from Cheech to here. And we eventually went under Bob Hurton, Hanshi Bob Hurton as of now, and he is in New Jersey. So we've grown increasingly under different umbrellas, so to speak. So there's many different styles of Shorin-ryu. There's also many different styles of karate anyways. Taekwondo is Korean style. There's some studios here in Connecticut. So there's a lot of different styles out there. I mean, to me, the principles are similar. The moves may be different, but the philosophies are pretty much the same with teaching respect, discipline, and it's just great for kids and families, adults alike.
And you know, the interesting thing, Stan, and I keep hearing it here today, is
family, right?
It's family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's impressive. You know, 26 years ago,
Yeah.
I started at the age of 13. And, you know, I wasn't involved in sports. I wanted to learn something. So I got this book out of the library. It was a karate book. And I went in front of my parents and I showed them the moves. And they said, let's call a karate studio. So just at that time, Ichiban Karate had opened up on Main Street with Renshi Scott, Kyoshi Chick. And that's where I started. And Kyoshi Chick Gavitt was one of my first teachers, and Renshi Scott was one of my first teachers. And, you know, we've been doing this ever since. And you're right, I think the reason why Ichiban Karate is still here, even after moving 3 times, is that there's a sense of family here. You know, when I walk through this door every day, I have that sense of this is my second family. And that's, I think, what drives all of us. And that started with Kyoshi Chigabbit. And you know, ironically enough, throughout the years, you know, he became like a brother to me and my best friend, Renshi Scott. And it was interesting to see how the studio evolved. You know, we were primarily just a karate studio, and then from there we incorporated fitness and offered so many different programs. So it just wasn't a karate studio anymore. It was something more than that, and I think that's why we're still here.
And tell us about some of those programs that you offer.
Yeah. So currently, I like to think our core is the karate program, and that's for adults and kids. We have a preschool class, which you saw today with the little ninjas. They're great. And outside of the karate program, we also offer Muay Thai, which is a form of kickboxing from Thailand. And it's for people who are interested in fitness or want to learn how to defend themselves. We have fitness classes. We have what we call HIIT classes, very intense, great class, bag classes. I think today you saw we have an MMA functional fitness class. And also we have self-defense certification classes. So we, you know, as a martial arts studio, we want to make sure that we offer as much to the community, you know, what they want. And I think we do that here with all the programs we currently have.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's evolved. It's just into more and more things. Some of the programs, like the fitness programs, these guys have gone away. They go study, they go training and get all the new, you know, good techniques that are out there. Not just stick to one thing, because there's always changes, new fads, there's new fitness routines that come out, and they're always consciously looking into these things and evolving.
And we learned that from Chick Gavitt. You know, is always trying to do something new to be, you know, to meet the customer's needs, because he was just a genius at marketing, you know, and we learned that from him. I learned so much, not just from a business standpoint, but just, you know, how to roll with life and the changes that come. I learned that here.
So we're here at Ichiban Studio, and we thought we would talk with a parent. And this is a parent I know well. She's my daughter, actually. The mother of 2 karate students. This is Christina.
Hello.
So let me ask you this. As a parent, and you're watching your 2 children take karate classes, what did you observe with their behavior, their learning? What did you see happen with them as a result of taking karate?
Well, I would say my son started at the age of 4. My daughter started at the age of 6. And I think it definitely helped them learn how to focus on one person, as opposed to sort of getting distracted, looking around the room, getting caught up in their own thoughts. It really helped them focus on one person in front of them, giving them instructions, challenging them, really trying to teach them how to focus when they need to focus. And also appropriate behavior, not talking while instructors are talking. It taught them respect, absolutely, how to respect adults, how to respect authority, which I think is important and sometimes is lacking these days. Their coordination improved dramatically for both of them. My daughter also did dance as well, which also helped, but for my son, this was really his only opportunity to learn how to move his body, how to use his weight to his advantage, coordination, memorizing katas, which are basically almost like a series of movements that they have to learn many of these. And so they have to, it trains your brain to memorize. And those are some wonderful things that I noticed.
Now, both of them got black belts. Kylie got first degree, and Brendan has recently got his second degree black belt.
Yep.
And now that is difficult, isn't it? The study, how long does it take them to prepare ahead of time?
Well, I mean, you're preparing the whole time that you're in karate, but specifically when you're given kind of the go-ahead from the instructor that the next go-round of black belt students, they are one of the possible candidates. It involves a lot. They have a booklet that they have to study full of historical information about karate, especially the particular one that they study, which is Okinawan karate. And they have to take a written test, which they have to pass, and that's number one. If you don't pass it, then you can't move forward. Then there are also practical tests where they have to show all of those katas and other things that they've learned in karate that they can perform successfully and know well. If you don't know it well, you're not going to move on. And then from there, there's also a physical fitness test, and that I think is the hardest. Both my kids got their first degree black belt in 5th grade, so you're around the age of 10. They had to run 3 miles in less than 30 minutes without stopping. If you stopped to walk at any point, you failed.
Yes.
Including a certain amount of sit-ups and push-ups. And it's rigorous, so we started training for that months in advance. And I mean, there were a lot of tears from them, like, I'm not going to be able to do this, this is too much. And you just, as a parent, have to say, don't give up, We'll take it little at a time, slowly build up, you'll get there. And they did it. And it was impressive. And actually, not only that, but they did really well. And I think just their self-esteem explodes. They just feel so good about themselves that they can actually accomplish that.
Now, of course, Kylie is not taking karate class anymore because she's a teenager with a lot of activities and dance and everything in high school.
And sports, and it was difficult to
But I asked Brendan, and I'm going to ask him again when we interview him, how long are you going to take karate for? And he says, as long as I possibly can.
Yeah, he wants to continue all the way through even college, adulthood. He really enjoys it. He enjoys learning. He enjoys the physical fitness of it. He just enjoys class, I mean, it's nothing I've ever had to force him to continue. And, as long as he wants to continue with it. And I think it really has done a lot for him because he was, as a younger child, he was very shy and, just not the most secure, outgoing person. And this has really given him something that makes him feel like he's good at it and he does well and he's successful. And it really has translated, I think, throughout the rest of the areas of his life to really have a confidence about himself and know who he is and be secure about himself, and those are all great life lessons.
And you can't help but feel the pride that's coming from a parent and, of course, a grandparent when you see these young children become disciplined, focused, and enjoy it. So
absolutely,
yeah.
It's great to have a hobby that's a healthy hobby.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6. Punch. 7. Punch. Your 8 cut cards. 9.
They've given me a weapon. Isn't it great? But I don't know what to do with it. So let's find out. We're going to talk to Brendan, okay? Hi. Brendan, hi.
Hi, how are you?
So this is my grandson, Brendan, who is 2nd degree black belt. And you're familiar with these weapons.
Yes.
So would you tell us about these?
So what you're carrying right now, that's called a bow step, just B-O. So Basically, it's just kind of your, generic big stick to hit people with.
Okay.
That's pretty much what you do. You twirl it around and stuff. I'm sure you've seen people use it. They're actually using them right behind us.
But there is a method to it.
There's definitely a method to it. Yeah, there's technique. There's like different katas and stuff that to do with it. So it's not just like swinging a stick around. There's stuff to it.
It's like a stick dance kind of thing.
Yes, in a way.
A way.
Yeah, and then so these things I'm also sure you've seen. They're called nunchucks. So they're kind of like little mini bows just attached by a string. So again, you just kind of swing them around to hit people with to defend yourself. But there's also like
here. Okay.
So like you can kind of like guard with them and stuff, and kind of like do some stuff with them. Do like the little figure 8 thing. So so there's kind of an advantage to it being attached with a string because it kind of gives it more.
It gives it more momentum.
Yeah,
maybe?
And more things that it can do.
Okay.
And then these are one of my favorites. They're called kamas. They're like little sickles. They were, I think, originally used as like farmers' tools to like cut rice and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But then if they got attacked while they had these, then they could use them as a weapon. So they're probably also some of the most violent ones, saying that they're blades. These aren't sharp, thank God, but you can get sharpened ones. But yeah, so you can. That's pretty much what they do. They just kind of cut people.
Okay.
It's not good, but
But there is a method, of course, with that too.
And pretty much to every weapon, there's always a method to it. There's always certain things that they can do. Actually, the curved blades on these are good for blocking bows. So if someone comes at me, the bow can get caught in here, and then I can like turn it away and then defend.
Gotcha. So what you are learning is not just movement and that kind of thing. It's actually self-defense.
Yes, it is self-defense. I mean, we don't usually use the weapons in like fighting against each other. We do it with the bows. It's called bow kumite, but we don't usually do it with the other weapons. But the things that they do that are in the katas, they're good for blocking like certain weapons and stuff. So
the thing is, you learn this and you program it in your memory and in your body movements, so that if you were on the street and someone were to come at you, you could grab a stick, make believe it's a bow, and defend yourself.
Pretty much. That's what you can do.
Wow.
Yeah, by learning this stuff.
Now, we talked about how you've been doing this for 10 years.
Yes.
And you are 2nd degree black belt, and that was an amazing test that you had to go through.
It was hard, but I honestly think that the second test to get the 2nd degree was easier than the first, because on the first one I had never done it before. And it was only 1 more mile that I had to run for the second one.
Yeah,
so I figured if I could do 3, I can do 4, and same with the other stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So you like karate?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
And you're going to stay with it
for as long as I can. I mean, I want to do it until I go off to college and stuff. So.
Or maybe even college and beyond.
Maybe if there's any place near there.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
11 episodes, so 12. 13. Yes. 14. Stop. 15. 16. 17. 18.
And we're still here at Ichiban Studio talking to some amazing people. And we're going to talk to the 3rd owner of the Ichiban Studio. And her name is Kayla, right? And it's a beautiful name. And she's a sensei, and she's going to be talking to us about the studio too. So we're going to get her take on karate, fitness, and all of these martial arts. So I'm so glad you were able to join us.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for being here today.
You're welcome. So when did you first get involved and interested in karate?
So I grew up in Westerly, and I had an aunt up in Wakefield that was doing martial arts. So we did some school programs down, like I am at my elementary school, and I earned my white belt down there. And then we came up and tried a few classes with my aunt. My twin brothers started before me. I just sat and watched. And then after a couple months, and I was complaining a lot from watching, after a couple of months, my instructor, Kiyoshi Chikavit, came up to me behind the counter and asked if I wanted to take martial art lessons when I was throwing away a Kleenex. And I said I always wanted to. And at that point, my mom couldn't imagine I said that, considering every day I'd be like, why are we going to Ichiban again? And I've been coming ever since. So that was in, I believe, around 97, 98.
Wow.
So.
And what is it about this particular martial art that has changed your life?
So I love martial arts. I'm very into physical fitness, but I have to say it's not even the martial art itself, it's the lifestyle. So between having such a full lifestyle with all these amazing individuals that we work with and that we train with, and also being in such a great community, that's really that selling point, even from a child perspective, of why you wanted to be a part of this. That's why we drove a half an hour every day, as a Rhode Islander, to come to class, because it was so beneficial for us to meet other people that way.
And then you became a sensei?
I did. So in 2001, 2001, when I received my first degree black belt, I went through our Storm Team Leadership Program, which you can see a lot of the kids that you might have talked to today. Madison was in earlier.
Madison, yeah.
Yes, Madison's a Storm member, so that's our special team of role models. So I joined that at 13, and I started to instruct, and that's where I found out that I really wanted to be a teacher and to go into education. And in college, I actually ended up getting my bachelor's in elementary ed and my master's in special education. So I actually pursued education in that route because of martial arts.
Wow, that's amazing. And you are now a co-owner at Ichiban.
I am. I teach part-time, and I co-own here, and I love it. And it's great to be in the same community that we grew up in.
Well, we have been enjoying our time here today, and I want to thank you so much for joining us and telling us your story, and just great. It's a great place here. I think I'm going to talk to my grandson about coming back, and I'm going to bring him because I love watching it.
It's one of those things that a lot of people get nervous or maybe anticipate what's going to happen when they walk into a martial arts school, because what you see on TV or in the movies is a lot different than kind of what exactly goes on. Like you can see today, even some of our kids, their best friends are here, they're goofing off. They had sleepovers last night to come to class today. Once you come in and you try it, people get hooked. It's such a great atmosphere, besides also being able to train and learn how to defend yourself.
It really is. It's very positive. The energy in here is amazing. Absolutely amazing.
It keeps you up at night. We leave at 9 and we're still wired because we had all of those kids' classes. So they definitely keep you energized.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Thanks again.
Thank you. Next, you'll be watching Ichiban Karate and Fitness's Team Elite Performance. This is actually a team composed of 2 schools, Ichiban North Kingstown, which Brett runs up in North Kingstown in Rhode Island, and Ichiban Wakefield, where you are today. So we have 2 schools that merge together to form a competition team, and you will see their technique and teamwork next.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. All the way up. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up. Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way. They don't kill me, only make me stronger. Hurry up, man. Can't wait much longer. Pretty right there, 'cause I can't take much longer. That's how long They don't kill me, only make me stronger. Hurry up, man. Can't wait much longer. That's how long
Good. Backhand is always up.
Switch on your
H.
knee.
Knee.
Go. Earning their orange stripe. Andrew Tessier. Come on. Also earning their orange stripe. Victor, come on down.
And we have Amy with us, whom I know from the Stonington Karate Studio. So Amy, I'm so glad I saw you today and you were here so we could talk.
I'm glad to see you too.
So tell me about why you're doing karate yourself.
Myself. I am doing karate. I started karate back in 1995 and achieved the rank of black belt, loved it, and then I moved. to about an hour away, and life got in the way. And I ended up, you know, going through different jobs and kids, and it finally got to the point where I missed it so much that I needed to get back into it. And I found Stonington, which is about a half-hour drive from my house, but that I can handle. An hour is it's just too much, especially with the kids and stuff. So we go to Stonington twice a week. I take it for health, and I like to hit things.
Ah, you like to hit things. People saying hello. This is like a family here, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. Everybody is just so inspiring. Everybody is just positive, and they push you, and there's no of that negativity, that tearing people down that's just so pervasive now.
I know. Now, when I see you in Stonington, it's not just you taking a class, is it?
No, it's not. No, it's I have two little girls, Savannah and Maya. They are 8, almost 9. She'll be 9 in June, and 7, and they're both in the youth program.
And who's the tall guy that sometimes is there?
That's my husband, John. He did martial arts a long time ago when he was in his late teens, early 20s, but he's been away for so long that now he had to start again from a white belt, and he got his gold belts, and now he has a back injury.
Oh.
So he's going to be out for a couple of months.
Oh, dear. Yeah. But I bet you he can't wait to get back into it, right?
He cannot wait.
What is it about the martial arts that you love so much, other than, you know, wanting to hit and that kind of thing?
I think it's really is the family atmosphere. I think it's everybody is just positive. You get that energy, that excitement. You know, you're doing something healthy for yourself, and it's not just the physical either. It's the mental. It's feeling confident, feeling like, you know, feeling strong, feeling like, you know, hey, I can do this. I can take on life and be just fine.
And does it make you think that I can do this, so that means I can do anything?
Absolutely.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Amy, for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me.
I kept hearing that people, students, even teachers say the continued learning of discipline, you know, the moves, everything that, and it changes your life. It changes your confidence level. There's just so many benefits to martial arts.
Confidence is very big, especially in young kids.
Yes.
As they build up that confidence.
And
level.
you see them change from year to year as you teach them.
We do. We see improvement in school. You know, we like to integrate life outside of the studio too, to show how important the martial arts is. So, you know, we have students who come in and bring their report cards. They have to get signed papers from their teachers to say it's okay to test. And when you see a progression like that, not just on the floor and under the roof, but you see that outside of the studio, that's amazing. You know, that's amazing to see. And it's not us, it's them. It's them taking the martial arts and taking the role seriously, and then encompassing into their lifestyle.
And that respect, that discipline, that focus that they learn carries through their lives in school.
Absolutely.
And of course, as they grow, other sports.
Family members, it's throughout.
It just spreads everywhere.
They mature. A lot of kids, and they earn their black belt. I mean, with each rank you have to test, you have material, you have responsibilities, and then black belt's a very big test here. He did not make it easy, and we follow that today.
Yeah.
You have many phases to go through, so when you earn that black belt,
absolutely.
You earn it from here. And
yes, I've seen that.
Yes, and you know, you've seen it. But it also gives these kids that confidence that I can do anything. As they get older, and life is not easy, you know, much as parents we shelter and we care for our children, the real world is different. And as they get older and realize there is failure out there, it's okay to fail, but through failure comes success.
Exactly.
And I think that's the beauty of it, that they learn.
It is.
You know, there's one thing that he would always say to us would be this term kanai. and it's CANEI, and it's constant and never-ending improvement. And I learned that at the age of 13, and I brought that with me through high school, through, till today. Something I still continue to kind of spread that word. And you're right. I mean, we learn that failure can beget success, and we see it here all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for letting us spend part of the day with you.
Well, we appreciate you being here today, too. It was a wonderful
Glad
opportunity.
We're here. It's awesome.
Yes, we've been working on it a while.
We've
and
been
we
working
did
on
it.
it for
Yay.
a while. It's been great.
You're welcome
I
back
appreciate
anytime.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Part of our learning process is by teaching. So you learn by teaching others. You kind of help everybody. That's what we're all about here.
Over the years, I feel like we've all gotten to know each other. We're all so close, so we're kind of like a little family. So when you come back to visit from college, you have to come back and visit here too.
And it was impressive, and actually not only that, but they did really well. And I think just their self-esteem explodes. They just feel so good about themselves that they can actually accomplish that.
It's been a major confidence builder as well, and I've found such a wonderful supportive community here in the fellow students. It's different than I would have found at your average gym.
Basically, it's just kind of your generic big stick to hit people with.